ahorita. Es muy interesante.
Ahí me llevaban, cuando yo llegué a México a pelear, a Pablo Ortega, que me empezó, yo, vamos a me Pablo Ortega, pero vamos a decir que tú eres...
Oye, mi Fer, te hablo entonces en la tarde.
Hello, boxing friends. Welcome to the WBC Talks. This is round number 45. And this round, we're going to have a great referee with us. But first, let me introduce 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗡𝗗. She's the director of the WBC University. 𝗧𝗔, how are you?
Fine, Victor. Thank you. Hi, Mauricio. Hi, Joe Cortez. Well, I'm going to begin today to share with you the idea of the importance of vitality for athletes and for all of us, okay? The current situation that athletes and coaches are living in confinement and their ability to adapt to the new situation and how this situation affects their moods and their work and their daily activities, okay? And because of that, it is important to rethink our objectives in the short term, mainly, okay? And because we are experiencing a paralysis of objectives in the short and medium term. And when we talk about goals, we talk about the following concepts. We talk about direction. We need direction to trace the objectives, put them in order, and we need objectives to design the strategies that we are going to follow. We need energy, okay? Because energy gives us the feeling and the strength necessary to fight for our goals and to persist in the face of difficulties. Energy equals vitality, okay? It's our internal power. And that internal power is mostly what athletes feel to achieve their goals. But we, like normal people, we also need that vitality, okay? When athletes feel alive is when they have a high vitality and is when they are able to face situations with greater confidence, okay? And be more effective, like we all are. And so we are going, how can we promote vitality? Well, first we need to have a good physical health. How can we have a good physical health right now? Well, with healthy lifestyles, okay? Good food, balanced food, enough sleep, training, physical training, but also we need some psychological inputs, okay? And we need to have an environment that is safe for us, okay? We need to have a clear mind, a strong mind, to be positive in front of the situation that we are living right now. But there is also another person who is key for the athletes, and it's their trainer, okay? Because trainers are the responsibles of motivating climates that empower athletes, okay? And a climate of empowerment is a task that supports autonomy, okay? Trainers have to train their athletes to be autonomous, to perform their daily routines, to be responsible for their actions. And sometimes we all are responsible for environments for others. We are responsible for the environments of our families, of our children, of our the people who works with us, for our teams. So we are responsible all for creating good environments that give us vitality to have one objective clear right now. And the objective that we all must have very clear is that we all need to preserve our health, okay? I know it's been very long quarantine, but right now we have all together one objective, and we still need to keep staying at home, to be safe and with good mental health and with a good environment. Thank you very much for this time to share a little reflection, and I'm eager to enjoy the talk with Joe Cortez and with you, Mauricio. Thank you.
Thank you, 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗞𝗦. And now let me introduce Mauricio Suleiman, President of the World Boxing Council. Mauricio, welcome.
Hola, Víctor. Hola, 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗞𝗦. Uncle Joe, so happy to see you, even if it's from the distance. Last time I saw you was in February during the great Tyson Fury Wilder event. And you're looking the same, and I love your t-shirt. We're gonna have lots of fun. The WBC Talks is a natural program between friends. It was created to keep the world boxing community communicated, entertained, and to learn from the boxing great icons like yourself. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you stories, anecdotes, and to learn from you because you are one of the legendary members of the boxing community. Thank you, Uncle Joe.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Always a pleasure.
And now, a man that has been done a lot of things in boxing, fought as an amateur and a professional and judge, but he's mainly known as a referee. Joe, fair but firm, Cortez. Joe, it's a pleasure to have you with us.
It's an honor to be, involved with the WBC. It's one of the greatest sanctioning bodies out there, one of the most respected. And of course, I've been honored to referee many World Boxing Council Championship fights around the world, and mainly here in Las Vegas. It's been an honor. It all starts from way back when I started boxing back in 1959. When I started boxing, when I put on the gloves for the first time training, and a year later, 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗, who got me started in boxing when I was 12 years old when I first met him. And that was the beginning of my career, beating 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗. And 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 came from Tijuana when he was about 19 years old. And he's like a big brother image to me. He's always guiding me the right direction, always put me in the right place. I could have gone the wrong way, but thank God for 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 in Tijuana, California, who got me inspired to become a boxer. My brother Mike Golden Boy Cortez. Mike Golden Boy Cortez was also a professional fighter like myself. And we won our first Golden Glove Championship back in 1960 at the old Madison Square Garden. And that same year, I won the Spanish Golden Glove Championships. Then I won the next following year, I won the Open Golden Glove Championship. I won then the Eastern Golden Glove Championships. Eastern Golden Glove Championship was very special for me and for my brother Mike winning the Eastern Golden Glove Championship. I was the last fighter known, or the only fighter ever known to knock out two guys the same night in Madison Square Garden. Now, Ed Brophy, that's when I won my first Open Golden Glove Championship in Madison Square Garden. I was a bantamweight there. And after that tournament, when I fought for the Eastern Golden Glove Championship.
Look at that curly hair. Oh my God.
Curly hair. Yeah, they call me curly today, man. But that was back in the days when I was 17 years old there. And that's the young Mike Tyson. He has a little curly hair himself. Mike Tyson, when he was coming up, I refereed 8 of Mike Tyson fights. And Mike Tyson has been one of the legends in boxing, one of the greatest champions for boxing and for the WBC as well. And you have Muhammad Ali, of course, the great. That was me, my fighting days as a bantamweight back in 1961, 62, 63, around there, when I was fighting as an amateur and professional. I turned pro in 1963. And then I had, I think it was my 5th pro fight in Madison Square Garden. I lost a decision. Then my brother Mike and I, when we won our Golden Glove Championship in 1960, I was 16 years old there, sitting down, my brother Mike next to me, won our Golden Gloves at Madison Square Garden there. That night there was 15,000 fans watching my brother and I win the Gold Glove Championships. We were the first brothers ever to win the New York, the Easters, and the Nationals the same year, different weight classes. But thanks to 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗, who taught me how to box well, taught me how to hit and don't get hit. 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 was a legend in boxing himself. Never became world champion, even though Griffith gave 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 a shot. The 𝗥𝗢𝗨 already had like 81 professional fights, but they finally gave him a shot at the title. And 𝗥𝗢𝗨 was in his late 20s, but he lost to Griffith by technical knockout. 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 had 185 professional fights, only got stopped twice. Griffith, Sandro Basigi stopped 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗. Anything 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 has ever been stopped in his whole career. I spoke to him 2 days ago. He lives here in Connecticut. His son, you hear the name, got Mike Ortega. He's a referee. That's 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗's son. And 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 is doing well. He's 80. He'll be 86 years old in October. I met him when he was 19. So I'm very loyal to my friends. Where they say friends, like family, 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 is like familia to me. And 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗, like I said, got me started. He took me to Mexico to fight in Mexico. And when we got to Mexico, he said, we have to tell them so they can accept you in Mexico, but they will be booing you. We said, you left from Veracruz when you were a kid. So they said, so they called me El Jarocho, Joe El Jarocho Cortez. Veracruz. So they accepted me in Mexico, and I'm Mario Moreno, Cantinflas. When they told me after I went by knockout in Mexico, he told me, Joe, tú vas a ser campeón mundial algún día. You're going to be world champion someday. He liked to wear fought, and I was a good, smart boxer. Hit, don't get hit.
Where was that, Joe? Where did you meet Cantinflas?
I think he was in Monterrey, if I'm not mistaken. He was doing a show the next day called Torito. He's a comedian, so he did. The next day we went to watch him do his little with the bullfighting, but not the real big bull. He got the small little calf. But Mario Moreno it was an honor. He watched 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 fight that night. He fought Álvaro Gutiérrez. I think it was Monterrey, if I'm not mistaken. Álvaro Gutiérrez was the welterweight champion, Campeonato Nacional de México. And 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 fought a draw with Álvaro Gutiérrez. And it was always an honor for me to be sparring with 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗. He was a welterweight. He fought, like I said, he fought like 29 times in Madison Square Garden. And he Friday night fights, Gillette Cavalcado Sports, you see 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 all the time. Sometimes he would fight, and they were a close fight, and then they have a rematch. 3 weeks later, they have the rematch. Not 3 months, 3 weeks later. But in 1965, I believe 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 had 27 fights in 1 year. 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 fought 27 fights in 1 year. You look at BoxRec, you look at 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗, I believe in 1965, he will be fighting 2 or 3 times a week. You know, he didn't have to go train. He was fighting 3 times a week.
Well, you were telling us that you fought twice in the Madison Square Garden.
Yes,
and
yes,
you have pictures of that when you knocked out 2 guys.
Yeah. Let me show you. Let me remove my camera here and take you to my little. Take you around. This is my ring here. Okay, let me. I'll take you to my area where. It's a photo there when I knocked out 2 guys the same night in Madison Square Garden, right there. Wait a minute. Let me turn this camera around. There we go. 2 guys right there. I stopped the one with the referee stopping it, and the other one I knocked him out. As you can see, this guy's mouthpiece is still in the air. You see his mouthpiece there. And that was the same night. That's for this for the semifinals. This one here for the semifinal, and this is for the championship that night. You know.
Oh.
Yeah. And here's a nice picture of the great Muhammad Ali autograph with him with the Beatles. Yeah.
Is that your office?
That's my studio. Yes. This is my studio here. That's my studio here. There's a fight there with Layla Ali coming out that night. Her father, Muhammad, was there. And that's the night that Mike Tyson fought Kevin McBride I was referee that night for Mike Tyson's last fight. And of course, we talk about Mike Tyson. We'll go over here where we have a nice picture of Mike Tyson. He's giving me a big hug. He says, and on the picture it says, to my dear friend Joe, I will always love you, Mike Tyson. It says, yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, yeah.
And you got into the Hall of Fame with him. I was there too. Yeah, I remember that picture.
There it is right there. We're showing off our ring. You know?
Look at that generation.
Yeah, yeah. And here's Canelo Alvarez putting the belt on me for my last fight that I had in Las Vegas. That was my last fight. Canelo Alvarez, Josecito Lopez. That was it there. And of course, here's Julio Cesar Chavez and myself with the celebration of Muhammad Ali when he passed away. We're doing a show there with ESPN. Here's my friend Mike Tyson. I think I'm taking 2 points from Mike Tyson for headbutting his opponent. He cut his opponent with a headbutt, so I had to take 2 points from Mike Tyson. As you can see, I got it by the wrist. I'm taking it to the judges. 2 points. And after I took those 2 points, I looked at him. He looked at me, and I covered my ears real quick. Make sure he don't bite my ears off.
It must be intimidating to the dog point from Mike.
Yeah, it was. But you know what? Here's a great Julio Cesar Chavez and I. Well, we got inducted into Nevada Hall of Fame. And we also got inducted together in the International Hall of Fame. That's the last one we got inducted to, Nevada Hall of Fame. And here's winning one of my Golden Glove championships. And of course, we come back here. My good friend there, Willie Mays.
Ooh. Hey, Willie Mays.
There you go. Here's some of the a bell signed by Muhammad Ali.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And some of the gloves, some of the trophies.
So is that a museum?
It's like a museum, yeah. Yeah. And here's the shirts on the top. Yes, we said that this here shirt right there in the middle. That's the shirt I wore. It's signed by Julio Cesar Chavez when 136,000 fans in Mexico City. Julio Cesar Chavez stopped Greg Haugen. I was a referee for that fight. 136,000 fans, the largest crowd in boxing history. You know, and that shirt there for George Foreman with knock out Michael Mora, Oscar de la Hoya with E.B. Rufero Rivera, Roberto Duran with Vinny Pazienza, Bernard Hopkins and Robert Allen, and Fernando Vargas and Oscar de la Hoya. You know, all the different shirts that I've had. And here's my brother Mike and I there. 16,000 see Patterson and Cortez brothers win when we won our Golden Gloves in New York. Big crowd, 16,000, 15,000 fans in Madison Square Garden. That's a lot to watch average fights. You know. And here's the great Marvin Hagler. And this is my little museum here, like a museum.
It is really nice.
Yeah.
Joe, then you fought as an amateur and as a professional, and then you retired in 1970, something like that.
Yeah, 1970.
I cannot hear you. I think you're blocking the microphone.
Okay, 1971 was my last professional fight, and then after that, my last professional fight, I went to work in Puerto Rico at the El Taiwan Hotel Corporation. I was at the El Conquista Hotel. And then 7 years later, I came back as a referee. They asked me when I was in Puerto Rico for 8 years working. And then when I came back to New York, where I was born and raised, a gentleman by the name of Pat Mashia asked me, he said, Joe, you want to get involved with the amateur as a referee? I got involved in the amateur Golden Glove Championship fights. That first year, after the 76 months of the amateurs, the New York State Athletic Commission. There was a gentleman by the name of Frank Morris, Deputy Commissioner Frank Morris. He said, Jolie, I was watching you the other night, Matt Square Garden, refereeing some fights. He says, you look pretty good. You're ready to go pro. I said, I've only been doing this 6 months. He said, no, I want you to go pro now. We're going to work with you. Give you plenty of work. And then next thing you know, 2 years later, I'm doing my first main event on NBC Sports. And then 3 years after that, I did my first world championship fight. So it was Aaron Pride, Miguel Montilla, for my first world title fight, 1982. And the rest is history. From what I understand, they have me down for 176 world championship fights. So I've been very honored, very blessed. And thanks to Don Suleiman, who opened the door for me to come into WBC, start sending me around the world, refereeing world championship fights. And then do refereeing fights in Atlantic City, New York, and Las Vegas. It's always been a dream. To this day, I still got to pinch myself. I can't believe I pinched myself to say, I can't believe that I got this far in boxing. But I didn't do it by myself. People like Don Jose and other individuals give me a good start. It opened the doors for me. And I became a loyal referee in boxing. And my job was to watch out for the safety of the fighters. When I started out, they had 15 rounds, and they had 3 judges. And Don Jose Suleiman, who's looking down upon us, he'd be blessing us every day. That I tell us Mauricio. And I'm very proud of what Mauricio is accomplishing. His father's watching him, guiding him, and what he's doing at WBC. And Don Jose always respected me as a referee. He always told me, Joe, I'm very proud of your work. And he always kept me going for very important fights. And to this day, I have pictures and photographs and letters from Jose Suleiman thanking me for my work. And I always been thankful to him for giving me the opportunity to make it to where I am today.
Uncle Joe, I love to hear the appreciation that you have for others. 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Ortega. I always remember Mike Tyson in the induction ceremony.
Right.
Half of his speech was about Indy Ortega.
That's right. And he got very emotional, yeah.
He got very emotional. He praised and he talked about the legend of 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Ortega. And then his son, Mike Ortega, I think he retired from refereeing or?
No. He's very active. He's still active.
Refereeing.
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Michael Ortega's my godson. I just changed his diapers when he was a baby. That's how far back we go with 𝗥𝗢𝗨 Ortega. You know, the whole family, we're like family, you know. I call him every week to make sure he's okay. Since 1955, when I first met 𝗥𝗢𝗨 Ortega, when I was 12 years old. Then when I was 15, that's when I started boxing. But yeah, 𝗥𝗢𝗨 Ortega is like my big brother and the whole family. I got family in Mexico, in Tijuana, in Mexicali. They're all like family to me. And every time they see me, when I go to Mexico, they greet me like it's a big party when I go to Mexico with the 𝗥𝗢𝗨 Ortega family. And it's an honor, you know, to be involved with such great people in my life.
So that is your man cave right there.
Yes,
what
sir.
A beautiful place. I've been there.
Yeah.
Now it looks more and more. You did some.
Yeah, I remodeled it recently with this coronavirus. A lot of time in my hands, so I redid everything. I painted everything. I did everything all over again. I put a new studio in here. It's like a dream come true. As people say you have to be in quarantine, I could be quarantined here for the rest of my life. I love it.
Yes, it's a beautiful place, and we must share with everybody that it is not an ego trip. That place. He uses that ring. He brings referees and ring officials. He performs seminars. He teaches and he learns. And you're just a great member of the boxing community. You like to give back to the sport very much, Uncle Joe.
Definitely, you know, and this ring in here, this is where I practice my ring mechanics. This is where I get to move around, you know, and keep myself moving around the ring here. This is where I practice, you know. And I tell the referee, this is where you take a mat, you practice all your mechanics, all the ring mechanics, you do it here in this ring. This is why I feel like you have to give it back, give it to pay it forward and help other referees out there, everybody out there. I just love doing this. This is my domain. I love this. This is this is what I learned by trade, by business. I was so serious about boxing. This ring has been in my house here for the last 20 years. I love it. This is a great place to be. This is a good place to learn. I bring other referees here to come in and learn. I've had Joe Frazier came in here one day before he passed. He came with his son Marvis. I've had Ernie Shavers come in here. Leon Spinks used to come in here. He's ill, a little bit ill now, but Leon Spinks come in here every week and work out with the punching. I did the mitts with Leon Spinks every week for an hour. He was doing so great. He loved being in here. But this is where I love training. This is where I love to practice my ring mechanics. This is where I love to share my knowledge and wisdom about boxing. And this is where I want to just continue helping out in the community with boxing.
And what do you remember? How do you make the transition from boxing to officiating?
Well, you know, when I retired from boxing, as my last professional fight was in Puerto Rico, I only fought once in Puerto Rico. I was already working in Puerto Rico. I was retired, but I came back like 2.5 years later. I still had a little burning desire to keep on fighting. I won, but I decided, nah, you know what? Let me stick with the hotel industry, the hospitality business. So I kept doing that. And I just, you know, it was just something that I wanted to do, and I love doing it. But I turned pro, like I said, in 1963. It was in Bakersfield, California, my first pro fight. I followed Ortega for a guy named Tony Noriega in Bakersfield. And it's been great. I just love, you know, boxing really opened up a lot of doors for me, put me on the right track. I really love it. Got Paulo Ortega. I keep talking about him because he's my mentor. And what can I say? I just love it. And I love helping everybody around the world.
And which one was your first international officiating trip? Do you remember?
I really don't remember offhand. But I think Jose Suleiman sent me someplace, but I don't recall exactly where. But I think it was in Germany, but I'm not sure.
You officiated in Japan, Philippines, Thailand. Tell us about some of those trips, something that you remember.
Well, you know, some of those trips, I went in Japan. It was great. I was refereeing some great fights in Japan, and it was great. I mean, I've been to Germany, Indonesia. I've been all over the world. I mean, I don't keep track of everything. You know, I just love it. If people say, "Who was your first fight?" You know, the only one I remember is my first world championship fight. That one I remember for sure. I ran Pryor, Miguel Botilla. But there were so many championship fights. I mean, I can't even start to begin where and how many.
When you go to a trip abroad, do you eat the food, the local food, or you're careful? How are you as an official in that respect?
Well, you know what? I'm not much of an eater, but I remember one day I was in Asia. I forgot where I went to, but they had a setup of food, and the Lazy Susan, they're moving around like that. When I go to Greatest Meat, and my interpreter next to me said, Mr. Cortez, they will tell you, that's dog meat, kind of the perro, dog meat. I said, I pass. I can't give me that. I'll have the next one. When I eat it, but I don't like to eat no dog meat, that's for sure. Not for me.
And what's your favorite kind of music?
Well, I love all kinds of music, but I like salsa music. I love to dance. You know, I like salsa music. I love Mexican music. I love oldies but goodies, and of course, I love to hear you play the drums. When you get on the drums, you play the drums. People don't know, Mauricio is one of the best drummers you ever want to see. If you go to a convention, Mauricio, you have the contest. Mauricio, he's the best drummer in the world. I think if that boxing would not be in your life, you would have been a musician, a big drummer.
You know, we have to do something in the next convention in the talent show together. You can sing and dance.
No, not me sing? No, dance.
Yeah, I've seen you sing.
And you know what? I don't have to wait for the convention, man. I can do some steps right here. I can do some steps right here. I like to do my salsa, you know, and then, you know, and then I just love having some fun. My thing is I love having fun. When we go to the conventions, yeah, the best time we had. The last one we had was in Cancun. It was a great convention. It's a great turnout. I love the shows they had there in the lobby of the hotel. Beautiful shows they had, and all the booths, all the memorabilia. It was just amazing. So many good people to see from around the world. It was like being with family members all over again.
You're always trying to help others. I know that. And I remember in Thailand, 1998, we got a convention. And 𝗧𝗔𝗟𝗞𝗦,
yes,
he stood up and he was 94 years old. That was his last convention. And he gave a speech. And we talked about a family of a referee who was going through a hard time. And I remember I was a kid, and I remember one person standing up from the back in the room, going forward and saying, "I'd like to start a fund to help our friend. Here's $1,000 to start a fund." And those are the things that Joe Cortez has left an indelible mark in the boxing world. Thank you for all you do, Uncle Joe.
Thank you.
And when you were refereeing, were you able to enjoy a fight inside the ring when you're in the action? What goes through your mind? How do you go in the fight-by-fight situation?
Well, let me tell you one thing is you cannot really enjoy it per se because you're working. And my main thing is a focus on the safety of the fighters. I don't want nobody getting hurt. So I can't really say I enjoy it because I'm really just, I'm treating these fighters like if they're my own children. I got to make sure that they don't get hurt. So, you know, I'm so tense working the fight and enforcing the rules, but it is not something that you really enjoy until it's all over. You see the final bell rings, they walk out of the ring okay. Then I can take a deep breath and I say, wow, thank God nobody got hurt seriously here. And then when I watch the replay, I can say, okay, now I can enjoy it. But while you're in the ring, let me tell you, it sometimes can be very emotional. It was just like when Mike Tyson fought his last fight. I got to do Mike Tyson. I met Mike Tyson when he was 13 years old. He came up to me in New York and told me he wanted to be a fighter. I gave some good advice. He told me that himself one day. I don't remember, but he said, Joe, I came up to you. He doesn't call me Joe. He always called me Mr. Cortez. Mr. Cortez, I came up to you when I was 13 years old, and you gave me some good advice about staying clean and doing the right things in pocket. And you told me I could be champion one day if I follow your advice. And he says, and I did. Anyway, but when I referee his fights, especially when he lost to Kevin McBride, it was like an emotional moment for me because here he is. I'm looking at him. He's on the canvas. He's sitting down. He's looking at me. It was a push. It was not even a knock. It was a push. But I couldn't quite hear you. He was so exhausted that I said to myself, I'm not sure I'm hearing you. Let me turn off this phone here. That's my little phone over here.
Siri,
yeah.
she's upset.
Yeah, she said she don't understand me. You turned her off because cállate. So it was a very emotional watching 𝗥𝗢𝗨 Ortega. I mean, Mike Tyson. Yeah, I always got Ortega in my mind. Watching Mike Tyson on the canvas, and I'm looking down at him. He's looking at me, and I said to myself, you know, this is amazing. This is what a sad moment for boxing to see a fighter, a great legend like Mike Tyson on the campus. He's looking at me like, you know, he's like helpless. And I'm looking at him, Mike, I said to myself, Mike, I want to help you get up, but I can't put my hands on you. And I was looking at him, and then he finally got up, and I walked him to his corner. Jeff Fennick, who was training him for that fight, said, I said, Joe, that's it. That's it. And I waved it off. And then Mauricio and I here in Las Vegas at one of the I think it was Nevada Boxing Hall of Fame convention, the induction. But yeah, so it's been a sad moment seeing fighters like the great Mike Tyson. That's why I say I can't really enjoy anything. That's a photo of myself with Sylvester Stallone.
In the movie.
Antonio Tarver for the
Balboa.
Rocky. Yeah, that would have been an honor to do these movies. I did one with Eddie Murphy, I Spy. I did one with Antonio Banderas, Woody Harrelson played to the bone, and one Wesley Snipes, Undisputed. It's been an honor to be involved with these movies, really great people. But that's why I like to pay it forward now to teach other referees and other folks in life that you can do anything. You can make your dreams come true. You got to be dedicated and give it all you have so you can achieve your goals in life. Just like Mauricio, WBC. That's me there when I'm counting out,
Ricky Hatton?
Ricky Hatton, when he got knocked down by Floyd Mayweather. And then shortly thereafter, I stopped it in that same round. He went down one more time and I stopped it. And I'm very focused. I'm watching the fighters. I'm looking at their face real close, making sure he's okay. But if it doesn't look right, I will stop it. And this is in, I believe, I'm giving a seminar and I'm helping out with, I think that was in Italy, I think a WBC convention. I'm helping out.
With Victor Drakulic.
What's that?
With Victor Drakulic there with you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Victor Drakulic, from Nevada. Yeah, that was a big convention, WBC convention there.
Chuck Williams from Hawaii wants to say hi, and he said that you fought 4 times there.
Yes.
And you met Bobby Lee there, and recently passed away.
Yeah, Bob Lee was a great man. He gave me my license. He was a commissioner in Hawaii, in Honolulu. I fought there 4 times and 3 times with the same opponent, Paul Sebastian, and then Katsutomi Takano with the Japanese. I had 4 fights in Hawaii, 4 wins. Yeah, I'm raising the hand of Sylvester Stallone. When he got inducted, we both got inducted together, along with Julio Cesar Chavez and Mike Tyson that same day there. It was an honor to be with great legends like that in boxing. And in between, underneath my arm there, in the back there, you can see the great Jake LaMotta. Like Jake LaMotta right there. Underneath the arms of Sylvester Stallone and myself.
Diego Martinez from Mexico is asking, he would like to know your opinion on what is it going to be like for the referee to go into the ring now during this coming back of the sport with the COVID-19.
Well,
they're talking about judges with a mask and blah, 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 but the referee is going to be, what is your opinion?
Well, I think that the referees they already wear the gloves, which is okay. And you got the long sleeve shirt. I think a shield, wearing a shield over the face would not be a bad thing. Not a mask, but a shield. It's like glass, a shield over you. And, you got to be careful. But these fighters are going to be tested, before the fight. They're not going to be tested just that one day. They're going to be tested several weeks before to make sure that when they come into the fight, because you can have the virus and don't have no symptoms. So they want to give a test to the fighters beforehand. You want to make sure if you're fighting 3 weeks from now, we start testing you today to make sure that you're okay and do a random testing that they do for the anti-doping. You do the same thing for this virus to make sure that they're okay come fight time, to try to minimize anybody getting sick. But the referee is going to be a tough job. And, they're the front runners there. They're there to do their job, but try to keep your distance as much as possible. But you have to tell the fighters, when I yell my command from the outside, break, box, do it from the outside. Don't get in too much. Try to keep a distance, but try to keep control from a distance and not too close. So I have to talk to the referees about when you give your commands to your rules to the fighters in the dressing room. Give it to tell them, listen, I'm gonna give you the commands from the outside, from the distance. I'm gonna try not to get in too close. I'm gonna yell my commands from the distance, obey my commands, and they have to obey the commands. But the referee should keep like 6 feet distance from the fighters. Of course, he may have to come in there and stop the fight. He have to basically physically, stop the fight. But you got to use more safety measures and learn better ring mechanics in procedures on how to stop a fight. It's all about ring mechanics and yelling loud commands from a distance.
Have you watched Ali against George Foreman?
Yes, I did. Zach Clayton was the referee in that fight.
What would you say about that fight and the referee's performance in that specific fight?
Well, you know, Zach Clayton used to be a basketball player. Zach Clayton used to play for the Harlem Globetrotters. He had good footwork. And I thought he had good ring mechanics. He taught me a lot. But when I used to work with him in Atlantic City, he used to tell me, Joe, I want you to be like a cat in the ring. I want you to be all over the place, but keep your distance and yell your commands from the outside. And he would teach me how to get in and break the fight, how to get in and separate his fighters and step back real quick. And I thought he did a good job as a ring mechanic, as a referee.
Because refereeing has emerged.
Yes.
It is a very different mechanics that we see today from the 60s, the 70s.
Yes.
I was just watching that fight, and the holding that the holding by Ali of the head of Foreman.
Okay, yeah.
And the holding and the pressure and the holding of the ropes. I wonder how different it would have been in referees' mechanics on that time from today.
Well, okay, let me tell you, Larry Hazard and myself came up together as referee. Larry Hazard, commissioner in New Jersey. We were coming up together, and Larry Hazard and I used to speak on the phone 3 or 4 times a day. We were coming up. I used to tell Larry, you know, Larry, I think referees should start better ring mechanics. It's tough. Sometimes there's excessive holding. Sometimes they're committing. I remember Tony Perez refereeing the fight with Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier, and Tony Perez, you know, was letting them get away with holding behind the head. And then one time he started warning him about holding behind the head. And but I felt that changing the ring mechanics for referee, Larry Hazard and I tried to revolutionize refereeing with proper ring mechanics, be positioning and making the right calls. Don't let fighters get away with excessive holding. But there's one thing that's happening today with some of the best referees today. Even myself, I was guilty of it myself, of letting fighters get hit behind the head. They get the hit behind the head, you know. To me, that's intentional. Anything intentional, you tell a fighter, you know, we got to start teaching our referees that if that's hitting behind the head, that's so dangerous. We know how much damage that causes to fighters. We have to start taking some points. You tell them in the dressing room, punches behind the head are illegal. If you hit the fighter behind the head, it's like it's a foul. It's just like you could continue hitting a fighter low, I would start taking some points. The same thing applies with punches behind the head. You cannot be committing those fouls because that's one of the most dangerous areas of a fighter getting hit behind the head. There's Tony Perez refereeing Joe Frazier hitting Muhammad Ali with the left foot. And in that fight, Muhammad Ali, I believe he had a jaw that was broken. I don't know if it was that fight or the first one.
No, it was Ken Norton, against Ken Norton.
That is Joe Frazier here.
Yeah, but the broken jaw was against Ken Norton.
Yes. I remember the first fight Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali got dropped.
Yes.
And Ali got up and managed to stand on his feet, but he lost the decision. And then there's Frazier again with Ali. Joe Frazier came here to my gym one day. It was amazing when he walked into this gym here, man. And you know what? I was so in shock that Joe Frazier was. I didn't even take a picture with him, but it was an honor to have Joe Frazier here at my gym.
What do you think about instant replay?
Instant replay. I think instant replay is a good thing to have in place for the simple reason. As a matter of fact, I'm licensed here by Nevada State Athletic Commission as a replay official. I will be doing the instant replay, and it's something I know that you've always thought that it was a good thing. Other sports, baseball, basketball, football, tennis, a lot of sports use the instant replay. We will make sure the right guy wins a fight. We don't want to see somebody win a fight because we're all human. We can make a human error by being on the blind side. You may miss a punch. that you thought it was a punch, and maybe when he threw the punch, actually he got hit with the elbow, or maybe he threw a punch, and he came in with the head. And if you're on the blind side, you may miss it. You think it was a punch that caused a cut. But the instant replay will show that it was an accidental headbutt. So this is where the instant replay official will help the referee to make sure that the right fighter wins the fight.
Jack Reese wants to say hi, and he said that he has been in your ring learning.
Yes, I've had Jack Reese here as well in the ring. He's a good man. He came here with another referee named Taylor, last name but Taylor from California.
Thomas Taylor.
Yeah. And I was giving him some ring mechanics here in my house. I've had many referees from around the world come here, and I help them out. But they're like brothers, you know. They're like a family. I love teaching and helping wherever I can.
Yeah, Bill Clancy says, much respect to Joe.
Yeah, Bill Clancy, another referee down from North Carolina. Another good, outstanding referee, yes.
Who was the referee that you look up to, Joe?
Well, I would say, you know, Arthur McCanty to me was one of the great referees of all time. Arthur McCanty to me was like the dean of referees, did a great job. And, you know, he was one of the great ones. I looked up to him. I also look at Richard Steele, Bill Lanes. You know, there were so many great referees. I always watch Carlos Padilla and the other one from South Africa.
Christodoulou.
Stanley Christodoulou, another outstanding referee. I used to look at those guys when I was coming up. I said, gee, I want to be like those guys. You know, when I get up there, I used to watch them, all the ring mechanics. I used to say, you know, I want to be a little bit like them, but I put my own skills in with theirs, and I try to create my own referee. But I learned a lot from those referees.
And yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead, Victor.
How fair is to be on the ring with two fighters? Usually people don't talk about the referee unless it's something to criticize him. How do you feel about that?
Well, you know what? The referee's in a tough situation all the time. You can't have all the fans to love you. But you know what? It was an honor when I used to hear George Foreman say, Joe Cortez, one of the best referees. I respect George Foreman. You know, he knows his boxing. And but you know, it's not an easy spot to be in. You can't please everybody. You know, we're all gonna make errors sometime at any given time. We're human. You know, I'm not saying I'm the best out there. I always try to minimize my mistakes. But all the championship fights that I did, all the years, 35 years as a referee, I try to not make too many mistakes. I guess that we learn as we go along. Nobody's perfect. But I had so much fun doing it. If I do it all over again, I'll do everything the same because I'm very pleased with the bottom line is I'm happy as can be today. Thank God.
We have done some exercise in every WBC talk. So we're going to do it with you. We're going to create the greatest fighter in history. So I'm going to give you some concepts and then you choose which fighter best represents that concept.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Punching power.
Mike Tyson.
Chin.
Oh my God. 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Ortega had 185 professional fights. He only got stopped twice. He had a good chin.
Gaspar Ortega?
Oh yeah, 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Ortega. Yeah, he hardly ever went down. I mean, 185 fights, only stopped twice, and it was technical knockout. He had a grand issue. 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Ortega. Look at his record: 185 fights, 29 fights in 1 year, and only stopped twice. Sandro Masengi stopped him in between rounds in the corner, and Ima Griffith, a technical, the referee stopped it. Gaspar didn't go down. Twice, technical knockout. 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗗 Ortega, 185 professional fights. Tell me who can break that record.
Okay. Next, speed. Hands.
Sugar Ray Leonard.
Jab.
Muhammad Ali.
Heart.
Oh my God. Who is that Chavez? He's got a heart, oh my God, heart of a lion. He was a heart, but there's been so many, when you say heart, You can say, Don Jose Suleiman. You know?
And boxing skills.
Boxing skills. Sugar Ray Robinson, one of the greatest. Boxing skills. Floyd Mayweather. Julio Cesar Chavez. I can go on and on. There's just so many there. But Sugar Ray Robinson is one of the best ones.
Now we're going to create the best referee ever.
Oh my God. I don't know. Man,
So I'm just inventing this category now. So
I don't know.
Let's start. Concentration.
Concentration. As a referee?
Yes.
Well, I would say Joe Cortez and many others.
Ring mechanics, walking around.
Okay, you know what? Look at my ring mechanics moving around the ring, and look at Jack Reese, look at Larry Hazard, Benji Estevez. I can go on and on with referees.
Okay. Next, enforcement of the rules.
Enforcing the rules. Enforcing the rules. Well, one thing I'll tell you is that Mills Lanes was one. He was really strong enforcing the rule. Like he said, let's get it on. Mills Lanes, but he enforced the rules very good. Again, you know, I would be biased if I picked myself. But everything you're talking about, put me aside from that. I let the fans make that decision.
Okay. And chin.
Chin? Oh my God.
Did you ever get hit on the...
I never got hit.
Never?
Never, 35 years, never got hit. That I can recall, I can never recall ever getting hit, but I see some referees get hit with shot and go down. But I saw, I saw the referee from Texas, Lawrence Cole. I seen Arthur McKinney Jr. He got hit with a shot. He took it real good.
Yeah.
He took a good shot. So Arthur McKinney Jr. Good chin.
Presence, you know, class.
Arthur McCanty.
Nice. Any other category you can think of for referee?
Well, compassion. Compassion is very important because compassion is very important to have, because you got to be, like I said, you got to be fair but firm. But you got compassion, got to be in there too, because you got to feel for them. You got to go in there thinking, these are my children. You got to have compassion for them. You don't want them to get hurt. You want to make sure that you love them, man, but you got to be like a father. Strong, fair but firm, but you have to build compassion with love as well.
And who would you put in that category?
Joe Cortez for sure.
Okay. Very good, my dear Uncle Joe.
Joe,
go ahead.
I would like to know his best moment in boxing. Which one would be your best moment in boxing, Joe?
Well, I'll tell you, there have been several, but one I remember because it had never happened before and never happened again. Was walking into Azteca Stadium with 136,000 fans, refereeing one of the legends in boxing, one of the greatest, Julio Cesar Chavez. And I'm walking in there, and I think to myself, man, this is amazing. As far as I can see to the left, as far as I can see to the right. And when Julio Cesar was coming into that ring, walking out from that dressing room to the ring, the crowd was so loud. I had to cover my ears. It was so loud. It was a moment I will never forget for the rest of my life. It was very, very, very special because it had never happened before and never happened again.
That was unbelievable.
It was.
You
were there. Your father was there with me in the ring.
Yeah.
It was an amazing moment. And as I look around, I saw, Jose Suleiman were pointing me for that fight. I look at him. He looked at me. He said, buenas suerte, mijo. I said, gracias, don Jose. Gracias por la oportunidad. It was like a dream. It was something like it has never happened before and never happened again. And will it ever happen? I don't know. But that was a moment to be remembered for the rest of my life and for many lives of many individuals, especially those who were there present, like yourself. Amazing, amazing, amazing moment.
Unbelievable.
It is really interesting how focused you are in the fights, that your best moment, it's previous to the fight. I mean, you cannot say a moment into a fight because you're working and so focused, but you have a couple of seconds to admire what was happening before the fight at that moment.
Yeah, exactly. But then again, during the fight, then I knew, then I got myself together. I said, okay, Joe, wake up.
No, but look, let me tell you, I was so proud. I just watched the fight a couple of weeks ago. I'm been watching a lot of fights that I have fond memories, and I was so proud of Joe Cortez because Hogan had been calling Chavez names, that he only beat taxi driver. He was very aggressive. Right. And Chavez, for the first time, lost his cool. So when they get to the center of the ring, Joe Cortez says, okay, that gives instructions and they must touch gloves. Chavez went to his corner. Yeah. And when I saw that, I said, oh my God, and Joe let it happen. And I'm just like this. 1 second later, he went and grabbed Chavez from his corner, brought him back to touch gloves with Hogan. Do you remember that?
I remember that, yeah. You know why? That's because you had to show good sportsmanlike conduct, even though I know Chavez hated him that moment, but I had to take control as a referee. I had to take control. And that's right there. I'm looking at Hogan, I'm giving the instructions there. And I made Chavez, touch gloves. But talking about compassion, again, I can't take whatever going on with Chavez and Hogan. That's their personal between those two. But me as a referee, I have to do my job. And I have to show compassion for a fighter, regardless if Chavez wanted to just punish him all night long. But I knew that Hogan was so outclassed, and I had compassion for him because I said, you know what? Not on my watch am I let this guy get hurt seriously. Okay, he's taking a pounding for already 5 rounds, and that's enough, But when the time came, I had to stop it. I jumped in and stopped it. And I showed compassion there because I don't want, I pulled Chavez aside and I held Hogan. I said, that's it, And that was it because of, like this guy says, I have no mercy with you. I would rip your head off. Chavez answered to Hogan. And that's what Freddie Pacheco was doing an interview.
What I'm trying to emphasize, it takes courage and a strict referee to be in the center of the ring with 136,000 Mexicans cheering for Chavez, and Chavez deciding to go to his corner and not touch gloves. The easy way out is, okay, just ring the bell and let them fight. You took what was courageous and you did what was wrong. And that stood very, very highly in my mind. I didn't remember from watching it live, but then watching the tape, I was very proud of how you behaved.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm fair, but I'm firm. I have to do my job, but I tell you, it was an amazing night. It was a great honor to referee that Chavez, and it was amazing the history that goes on with boxing and me being part of history. I'm honored, and again, I thank so many people for helping me get there, helping me to who I am as a referee. Again, Jose was very instrumental in my life, and he was very proud when I got inducted into the International Hall of Fame, because of like yourself as well. And I always remember that he always say, Joe, you deserve it, and you earned it. So I'm waiting for my championship belt one day.
Absolutely. Uncle Joe, we want to thank you so very much for sharing your man cave, from sharing 1 hour with us, from giving very nice concepts to the boxing world. And all I can say is I cannot wait to give you a hug in person very soon, my dear Uncle Joe.
Gracias. Quiero decirle a los que están escuchando en español que les deseo mucha suerte y tengan mucho cuidado en estos tiempos con el coronavirus. Tenemos que estar muy contentos con nuestra familia y con nuestras amistades, y tener ese amor y compasión para nuestras familias en el boxeo y a todos, porque tenemos que tener la guardia arriba siempre, protegernos y mantener el jab afuera para mantener la distancia. Pero la cosa es importante es that, you know, we love each other and we care for each other y estamos ahí para todos siempre. Always there for you, everybody.
All the best, Uncle Joe. God bless.
God
Víctor,
bless you.
muchas gracias.
I just want to say to the people that every time you're running to Joe, he's the nicest man. He's fair but firm on the ring, but he's the nicest down the ring. And he have boxed, he have been judge and referee and analyst for the TV. And I'm not sure what is coming next for him, but I just want to thank you, Joe, for accepting to be with us and for being the kind of person that you have been. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And again, it's an honor to be part of the WBC show and keep our families together and always stay in good health and stay safe. God bless you all.
Uncle Joe, we've been dancing around the idea of doing things with our committee. So let's get it done. Let's find a way to get officially what we want to do together.
Yes, sir. I'm ready to go forward with anything you want to do. I want to make sure that the World Boxing Council continue to give with the CARE program and to keep giving seminars and teaching our colleagues around the world. And it's a small family, but we have to all stay together to make sure we'll succeed and make the World Boxing Council bigger and bigger every day.
God bless, Uncle Joe. Take care. Say hello to wife, the kids, your beautiful daughter, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you.
Well, there you have it. That's Joe Cortez. Firm he is, but he also is fair. Thank you, Joe.
Okay, a fair but firm. Se firme pero justo. Cuídese.